handicappers, Mike and Bob, to see who they like. Guys?
Well, Tom, a lot of debate about who's going to win this race. No debate about the pace.
None whatsoever. The pace was toward in the Derby and Preakness, but we're not going to see that today. There's only two speed horses in here, Balto's Star and Buckle Down Ben. And Balto's Star, those two, is definitely going to be in front. Take a look at the Kentucky Derby. 4 horses bolted out of the gate. Song and a Prayer, Millennium Wind, Balto's Star, and Keats. This looked more like the start of the Breeders' Cup Sprint than it did the start of the Kentucky Derby. The pace was ridiculously fast. 44-4 for the half. You're not going to see that today.
Historically, the Belmont Stakes plays well for stalkers. They're well represented here today with the likes of Invisible Ink. He is a very live long shot. A P Valentine, we talked to Nick Zito, and the horse they have to beat, Point Given.
And Point Given was so impressive. Here he is in the Preakness, just making a move. As soon as they turn onto the backstretch, Gary Stevens does not even ask this horse to run. He just accelerates long, powerful strides. Look at the way he was picking off horses. That was just a huge effort by Point Given.
I picked him in the Derby, I picked him in the Preakness, but not today. Fearful that he might not be able to repeat that big Preakness effort, which brings us to our closers.
Well, of the closers, the only one that I can see getting anything, Bob, is Monarchos, the Derby winner.
Well, au contraire, because Thunder Blitz is a horse that's fresh. He's ready. He's put on 60 pounds since the Derby. He was a late May fall. He wasn't even a 3-year-old when he ran in the Derby. Excellent rider in Jerry Bailey, good trainer in Joe Orsino. Let's light up the board today at 10-1 with Thunder Blitz.
Good connections, but I really don't think the horse can win. I think there's 3 horses that can win. Point Given, Monarchos, and Balto's Star. My daddy always told me a loose horse on the lead is dangerous. Balto's Star is going to be dangerous. I'm going to take an exacta box, Bob. Balto's Star and Point Given in an exacta box.
You can't even pick a winner, and you're giving out an exacta.
Balto's Star, Point Given, go to the bank.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Tom, back to you.
They have differing opinions. What a surprise. By the way, Mike, just for your information, the last wire-to-wire winner in the Belmont Stakes, Swale in 1984. The 133rd Belmont, over 1.5 miles. Back to Long Island in a moment.
Some athletes don't care about endorsements. Some athletes don't care how many fans they have or what kind of shoes they wear. Some athletes don't even care if they're televised coast to coast. They just want to run. The Visa Triple Crown takes a lot of heart, but at the ticket booth, the only card they take is Visa, the official card of the Visa Triple Crown.
Download monologues, jokes, even a virtual J. Find it at nbci.com/tonight.
What I like about the job is that we provide objective research about companies. Prudential said in no uncertain terms, if you mean sell and you're saying hold, say sell. If you mean buy and your rating is hold, then say buy. So forget this mealy-mouthed, mumbo-jumbo, political speak type of research. Take a stand, be objective and balanced, and make investors money.
Get behind the scenes on America's hottest new game show. Find it at nbci.com/weakest link.
You know Bridgestone sells tires for cars like this, and this, and this. But now we're having a sale on tires for cars like this, and this. Introducing the Insignia SL, a new Bridgestone tire for cars like yours. On sale now during the Insignia sale. You can even take them for a free 30-day test spin. The distinction is Bridgestone, so see your participating Bridgestone or Firestone retailer.
Another tight one in L.A. Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal combined for 59 points to hold off league MVP Allen Iverson and the determined Sixers. Now it's off to Philly for pivotal Game 3. The NBA Finals, Sunday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, NBC.
Everyone wants to get a look at the horses for the Belmont Stakes. Beautiful paddock here at Belmont Park, and the horse is being saddled as we speak. Invisible Ink 9-1, Balto Star 12. He's the speed horse. Dollar Bill's gone up a notch to 6. Thunder Blitz 11. Monarchos still at 5-1. Buckle Down Ben up to 25 now. Dr. Greenfield up to 17. A P Valentine holding steady at 5-1, as is the favorite Point Given at 3-2. Well, Wayne Lucas has won 13 Triple Crown races, but this is the first time we've seen him in 2001. Let's go to Bob Newmeyer.
Very much the forgotten man, D. Wayne Lucas, but his Belmont Stakes record is impeccable. 15 starts, 4 wins. He's the only trainer in this race that has won this event. Consider the other trainers, 15 starts and no wins, and he's saddling the long shot Buckle Down Ben. But remember that this same man, D. Wayne Lucas, saddled big long shot Commendable last year in a shocker. One other point. Lucas's proteges well represented here. Trainers Dallas Stewart, Todd Pletcher, and Gerard Butler all worked for Wayne at one time or another. He accounts for 5 of the 9 runners in this year's Belmont Stakes. An enormous influence of the forgotten man, Mr. D. Wayne Lucas. Tom?
Well, forgotten, we talk about Woody Stevens and his fantastic run of 5 straight. At one time, Wayne Lucas won 3 Belmont Stakes in a row, trying for the upset here today. Let's go to Mike Battaglia.
Okay, Tom, you were talking about long shots, and Dr. Greenfield is one of those long shots. But, you know, he does have a couple of things going for him. This horse has won 3 straight races, including one on the dirt. He's owned by Team Valor, a syndicate headed by Barry Irwin, and they came here in 1992 with a horse called My Memoirs. All he did was finish second to A P Valentine. He is also trained by Gerard Butler, a former Lucas assistant. He knows how to get horses ready, and he's bred to get the 1.5 miles. This horse's sire, Dr. Devious, won the 1.5 miles Epsom Derby in 1992. So the horse is a long shot, Tom, but stranger things have happened.
Indeed, they have. In fact, Irish trained Go and Go, a previous winner of the Belmont Stakes. And we're waiting for paddock judge Neil Cotrone to give us the order of riders up for the Belmont Stakes. As they continue to make a circuit of the paddock, and there's the overhead view. Gary Stevens awaiting a leg up on the favorite Point Given at 7-5 the last time we checked. See the multiple goggles on his helmet. They pull them down so they have a fresh pair always as the race is run. And Point Given once again will be breaking from the outside post. He is the first horse in Triple Crown history to have drawn the outside post in every race. That's since the starting gate came into use early in the 20th century. First time a horse has started on the outside in each of the Triple Crown races. And in fact, he's been favored in all 3. Gary Stevens gets the leg up, and the horses soon will be making their way onto the track. You know, the ability to get the 1.5 mile distance of the Belmont has always been important to breeders trying to produce the classic horse. 11 Belmont Stakes winners have sired winners of the race. AP Indy has a chance today with AP Valentine, and if the 95 champion could watch the race today, he would certainly have a rooting interest. The winner of the 1995 Belmont was Thunder Gulch. The chestnut colt pulled away, capturing his 2nd Triple Crown race, having won the Kentucky Derby earlier. And the legacy of Thunder Gulch continues today. Derby runner-up Invisible Ink and Preakness winner Point Given were both sired by Thunder Gulch. Gary Stevens, who rode Thunder Gulch in the 95 Belmont, attempts today to duplicate that feat aboard his son, Point Given.
The family has always put in the forefront to protect the quality and the standards set by Adolphus Busch.
The deep sense of pride that my grandfather taught me, that my father continues to teach me.
I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
Introducing the new 200 horsepower Sebring convertible.
At Callaway Golf, we've spent years designing drivers with the largest sweet spot possible, so they're more forgiving and easier to hit. Now, the Hawkeye VFT Titanium driver has a 254% larger sweet spot, and that can only mean one thing: 254% more fun. Experience a Hawkeye VFT Titanium driver today and take your game to the limit.
You must be hungry. Let's go get some breakfast. Choo, like the Monarchos do. Oh, yeah, dressy wessy. Oopsie, whoopsie. Jumping girl on a swingy wingy. Boo, boo, boo. Is Daddy Waddy home from worky jerky?
When you're in desperate need of a night out, you need Broadway.com and Visa.
How silver.
Wonderful use of iambic pentameter.
Like a
parameter.
Visa, the preferred card of Broadway.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, New York, New York, performed by Broadway star Linda Eder.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray and step around the heart of it. New York, New York. I wanna wake up in the city that doesn't sleep, to find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. Come on, come through, New York.
And from the Big Apple, here are the horses for the 133rd running of the Belmont Stakes. Invisible Ink is the one, second in the Kentucky Derby. The rider, John Velasquez, returned to Puerto Rico this past week to be with his dad, who possibly has leukemia. He's back to ride Invisible Ink. The two-horse, The Speed, Balto Star, trying to become the second gelding to win the Belmont Stakes. The only other one, Creme Fraiche, one of Woody Stevens' 5 winners. Chris McCarron has won this race twice. He's aboard for the first time. The three horses, Dollar Bill, hoping the wide turns of the longer distance give him a clean trip under Pat Day, who won the race 3 different times and just passed 8,000 wins in his career. Only Lafitte Pincaille and Bill Shoemaker have done that. The 4 horses, Thunder Blitz, a May 13th foal, just maturing in the 5 weeks off since he ran in the Derby and finished 4th. He's gained 62 pounds. First Belmont for Joe Orsino. Jerry Bailey rode Hansel to victory here. The 5 horses, the Derby winner, Monarchos. Monarchos ridden by Jorge Chavez, who is 0 for 7 in the race on long shots. Monarchos has a couple of things to worry about. Will he like the track, and will he have a hot enough pace to run at as he did at Churchill Downs? The 6 is Buckle Down Ben, owned by Michael Tabor, who also owns half of A P Valentine. This horse got over a respiratory infection to come back and win an allowance race at Churchill Downs. And Dr. Greenfield is the 7 horse. He's already gone by from Europe, a son of Epsom Derby winner Dr. Devious, and ridden by Edgar Prado. There he is, Dr. Greenfield, Irish bred. has been schooling in the gate American style in Ireland. Has won a race, the D Stakes, in England, the same race my memoirs used after he came to the States, or before he came to the States, and ran second to AP Indy. A P Valentine is the son of AP Indy, ridden by Victor Espinoza. He's 2 for 2 at Belmont Park. His best race, the Champagne, here last fall when he beat Point Given. And the 9-horse is the favorite. That is Point Given. Gary Stevens has 2 Belmont Stakes wins in 5 rides. Point Given, the son of Thunder Gulch, all stitched up like a hockey player, but ready to go. He can be a handful sometimes in the morning, but usually not so in the afternoon for Gary Stevens. As Bob Baffert tries to get off the schneid in the Belmont Stakes, he is 0 for 4. So the horse is warming up as the Belmont Stakes approaches.
Belmont Stakes, brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown. By Chrysler, we're reinventing the passion for driving. And by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer.
Some experiences stay with you. Like the feeling of driving the new Chrysler Sebring convertible. With a 200 horsepower V6 engine and race-inspired suspension, it's an exhilarating experience that lingers. Now, well-qualified returning Gold Key lessees can lease the Sebring LX convertible for $329 a month.
Edgy at the wheel, under a big sky, working in the field, harvesting hops in the early autumn sun, going round the clock until they get it done. This is from the people working hard every day, talking about the folks who get this bud my way. This bud's for you, and you and you and you. This bud's for you, and you and you and you. This bud's from 5 generations passing on their tradition with pride in the craft and pride in the mission. From the brewery crew to the lager-in man, get it to you fast and fresh as they can. This is from the people working hard every day, talking about the folks who get this bud my way. This bud's for you, and you and you and you. This bud's for you.
How safe is your retirement plan? Sun America can help. Just ask your financial advisor. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
When Hawaiian sumo legend Konishiki feels like your Asian cuisine, he goes to Indigo. For Italian, it's off to Antipastos, Makawao Steakhouse for steak, Cha-Cha-Cha Salsaria for Mexican, Magoroya for great sushi, and who knows how many restaurants he'll eat at tomorrow night. But no matter where he eats, he'll be paying with his Visa card. Because like so many other great places in Hawaii, these restaurants don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
$1 billion. That's how much Oracle saved in 1 year using its own e-business software. How much will you save? Oracle. Software powers the internet.
Bob Costa's back at Belmont Park as we prepare for the 133rd running of the Belmont Stakes. Standing here in the winner's circle, overlooking both the start and finish line. And once again this year, as you all know, for the 23rd consecutive year, there will be no Triple Crown winner. On the other hand, the Preakness winner Point Given or the Derby winner Monarchos has a chance in the next few minutes to establish himself as the clear-cut head of the 3-year-old class if he can prevail in this race, sometimes called the test of a champion.
Well, I've won the Derby a couple times, won the Preakness a couple times, but I just can't get this monster of a race out of my mind.
Point Given might ease that disappointment. The Preakness champion is primed to end Baffert's drought. But Monarchos is not about to step aside. That's not how Derby champions react. New York's own Nick Zito has yet to win a Belmont crown. His glory could come with A P Valentine. The air of uncertainty that surrounds the Belmont Stakes could also produce the perfect ending for Invisible Ink's fairy tale run. The test of champions is now. And as they come to the starting gate, let's recheck the odds where Point Given has been the favorite since the outset. Invisible Ink on the inside, holding at 10. Balto Star 11-1. Dollar Bill at 6. Thunder Blitz 12. Monarchos still at 5-1. Buckle Down Ben, Dr. Greenfielder long shots. Nick Zito 0 for 10 in the Belmont Stakes, but he's been second 4 times. His A P Valentine 5-1, and Point Given still a solid 7-5 favorite. Well, Donna Brothers is on horseback now. She's been observing the horses as they warm up. Donna, anything of interest back there as they got ready to come to the gate?
Well, Tom, from the crowd noise, you can hear that I couldn't clearly hear you when you asked me a question. So I'll just tell you that the track is in perfect shape, as John Moore had mentioned earlier. Point Given and Dollar Bill and A P Valentine and Monarchos all had a nice gallop to the backside. They all caught their breath and took a nice long walk. As I mentioned in the Preakness, Gary Stevens wants to keep Point Given off by himself, and really the only person joining him right now is me, but I'm on his pony, so it's okay. But they all look like they've come to the gates in good order, Tom, and now they're set to load.
All right, Donna. Well, the fact that Donna couldn't hear me, it proves that it is loud down there for the horses, too. Look at Point Given pricking his ears. He hears the crowd as Invisible Ink is being led in a circle behind the gate. He's at 10-1. The horse that was given up all but dead a year ago.
Todd Pletcher ran impeachment last year in all 3 legs of the Triple Crown. He looked like the Belmont would be the one he could win. He came up pretty empty, and I think that taught Todd that maybe a little time in between these races would be better. After he ran Invisible Ink to that good second in the Derby, he said, I'm going to rest him up to the Belmont. So I think he's had this in his sights all along.
And there are the 2 Pletcher horses going in, Invisible Ink and Balto Star. You saw Secretariat's record. How could you come to the Belmont Stakes and not think of the great one, Secretariat, that amazing performance in 1973? That's Thunder Blitz. A lot of people think he has a good chance, including our Bob Newmeyer, as he goes into the gate. Monarchos, the familiar gray with that cross bridle that prevents him from getting his tongue over the bit, with Jorge Chavez aboard into the gate. Buckle Down Ben is next in the Michael Tabor colors. And to call the 133rd running of the Belmont Stakes, let's go atop the grandstand to Tom Durkin.
And we're waiting for Dr. Greenfield, A P Valentine, and Point Given. And Dr. Greenfield behind the gate, and perhaps it's the size of this crowd that is giving him the willies, so to speak, before the starting gate here. He has, of course, been running at some very smaller tracks over in England. And he is walking behind the starting gate. Sometimes a little different procedures, too, when horses are used to being loaded into the starting gate over in Europe as opposed to over here in the United States. Just a whole different atmosphere.
Tom Durkin,
So,
you see the rider jumping off there. You know, in 2 of his races in Europe, Dr. Greenfield, the chart said he dwelt at the start. And over the past few weeks, they have been schooling him in the gate American style, getting used to the bell. Of course, they couldn't duplicate the crowd that you mentioned, but the gate has been a problem all along for Dr. Greenfield. And they're still having trouble with him today. So you saw Edgar Prado hop off, and they're trying to settle him down now because Dr. Greenfield, this is all as you said, completely new experience for him, and he wasn't that great in the gate anyway. They're going to try to back him in.
The starter here at Belmont Park is Bob Duncan, and he's very progressive in the way that he handles horses going into the starting gate. Something of a horse whisperer, if you will. He doesn't believe in really strong arming horses. He uses it as an absolutely a last technique to get the horses into the starting gate. He is very conscious of this new age kind of science as far as handling horses. But right now, it just appears to be that the old brawn is the way that's going to get Dr. Greenfield into the starting gate. And a loud crowd, a mock cheer as he goes into the gate. A P Valentine moves into line. And now we await Point Given, who for the third time will take the outside post position in the Triple Crown races this year. Gary Stevens aloft, the Preakness winner. One more behind the gate. The rambunctious Point Given. His trainer Bob Baffert looking on with some concern. And he too is in the gates. And we are now ready for the start of the 133rd Belmont Stakes. And Balto Star, wasting no time, is immediately in front in the first few strides. Balto Star to establish the early lead. Buckle Down Ben is just to his outside, and Jorge Chavez has Monarchos close in the early going. Is in between horses third. Invisible Ink continues up on the inside fourth, and Point Given's right there. He's up on the pace and on the far outside. And then near the back of the pack are Thunder Blitz, who's been moved immediately to the rail by Jerry Bailey, and the two trailers are Dollar Bill, who's down on the inside of European Invader Dr. Greenfield. So they make their way around that sweeping clubhouse turn here at Belmont Park, and it is Balto Star. There's mild pressure from Buckle Down Ben, and Point Given loping along comfortably in the early stages here. The opening quarter went in 23 4/5 seconds, and the opening half mile was a soft one, 48 seconds flat, so it's a comfortable pace that Balto Star and Chris McCarron have established. And Point Given is right up there on them now on the far outside. Buckle Down Ben in between horses. A P Valentine is kept right up on the pace too. He's only 2 lengths behind Balto Star. Then farther back, Invisible Ink settles into an easy beat now about 6 lengths from the front. Monarchos there gets a nudge from Jorge Chavez with 6 furlongs to go. Then it's Thunder Blitz to his inside. Still well at the back of the pack are Dollar Bill and Dr. Greenfield. Dollar Bill is now being asked to run 5 furlongs from the wire. And the field moving for the far turn, and Point Given is making his move. There he goes, 3 wide after Balto Star. Buckle Down Ben fights on in between him. And now here comes A P Valentine, and he's moving 4 wide after the lead. There's a break of another 6 lengths back to Monarchos and Invisible Ink. And at the midway point on the turn, they've run a mile in 1:35 2. Point Given rolls to a 2-length lead. A P Valentine is full out, but he's 2 lengths behind as they approach the top of the stretch. Then there's a break of another 4 lengths to the Derby winner Monarchos, who's starting to hit his best stride as the field hits the quarter pole. Invisible Ink is coming through and opening on the inside, but it's Point Given who comes roaring off the turn with a widening lead. He's pulling away to lead by 5. He's pulling away to lead by a half a dozen lengths here at the 8th hole. Then it's A P Valentine, followed by Monarchos. Dollar Bill is moving way too late. Here is a powerful, compelling performance by Point Given. He is under the line to win the Belmont by 11 lengths at the finish. Sensational effort here. A P Valentine finished second, and Monarchos was third. Dollar Bill came on to be fourth. The final time was 1 minute, 26 2/5 seconds. That's equaling the 4th fastest Belmont Stakes ever. An absolutely sensational, overwhelming effort by Point Given today, and he really put it here together at the big ball yard at Belmont.
And Bob Baffert finally has his Belmont Stakes win after narrowly missing with a Triple Crown on the line with Silver Charm and Real Quiet. Gary Stevens and Point Given dominate in the Belmont Stakes. This is a horse some called a super horse before the Derby. He proved he was mortal at Churchill Downs, but in the Preakness, and especially today, here in the Belmont Stakes, Point Given to the head of the class of the 3-year-old division, proving that he is, at least for now, the best of this crop. Let's go down to Donna.
Oh, excuse me, I've got Gary Stevens here. Gary, congratulations. He wins a 2nd leg of the Triple Crown today. Is he a superstar?
Yeah, I think he showed he was today. He was loafing with me a little through the lane, and I don't have eyes behind my head, but I think he was running away from him, wasn't he?
Well, you ride like you have eyes behind your head. 6 mounts in the Belmont now. This is your 3rd winner, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
What's your secret?
Fast horses like him. I'd like to thank Prince Ahmed once again, people of Saudi Arabia. Beautiful feeling.
Well, now that you've won the Belmont, does this take the sting out of losing the Derby, or does it actually kind of make it a little bit more frustrating that he lost the Derby?
I'll always wonder what could have been. feel like he should have been going for a Triple Crown today. Didn't happen. We'll try again another year. But this guy should have a Triple Crown written next to his name.
Gary, congratulations. And Point Given, same to you. Tom, looks like Point Given just has one tarnish mark on that record.
Donna, Point Given becomes the first favorite to win the Belmont Stakes since 1995, when his daddy, Thunder Gulch, won it at 3-2. And was he dominant today? Well, a quick glance at the stretch run proves that Point Given was at the top of his game today. In fact, he appeared to be picking up horses on the backstretch and into the turn for home on his own. Gary Stevens hadn't even asked him to run yet. Now, when Stevens asks him and taps him a few times with a whip, Point Given responds to get to the wire 11 lengths in front of the rest of the field. And Stevens looks behind and sees that great margin. No fooling around today. No glancing at the crowd or the grandstand. No problem changing leads. Point Given is as dominant as they come in today's Belmont Stakes, as we have the same 1-2 finish as we had in the Preakness. Point Given and A P Valentine. And Bob Baffert, after 0 for 4 in the Belmont Stakes, finally gets his win. Point Given, the his son Canyon enjoying the moment and gets a high five from Dad and a big hug as well. Thunder Gulch, the 17th horse to win the Preakness and the Belmont. 7 of them didn't even run in the Derby. And as Gary Stevens said to Donna, boy, you're left with a question of what might have been had he been true to form at Churchill Downs. Bred by the Thoroughbred Corporation of Prince Ahmed Salman of Saudi Arabia. He's a colt by Thunder Gulch out of Turco's Turn by Turcoman. And let's go to Bob. He is with Jorge Chavez.
Well, he was clearly the fan favorite here in New York, but I don't know what you could have done to stop that runaway train. George Chavez, Point Given, ran off the screen today. Does it surprise you how impressively he ran in today's Belmont Stakes?
Yeah, the winner can take nothing for the winner. He ran hard and he ran very good. And my horse was trying. He ran very hard. He can, you know, I don't have what else I can say except for the first time maybe the number 2 come out a little bit and you know, I got a little bit steady, but not that much. You know, I don't look out for the excuse.
And it was really essentially, George, a race for second between you and A P Valentine, the way it boils down.
Yeah, my horse was digging in. He did try, but you know, even I can get the second. But I'm very happy how he ran, and that's how I can do, you know.
All right, back to Tom Hammond.
All right, Bob. Jorge Chavez a bit disappointed as Monarchos finished his third. Here are the prices. Point Given $470, $370, $3. AP Valentine and Monarchos a $20 exacta, $76 trifecta, superfecta $183. We'll be back.
Some athletes don't care about endorsements. Some athletes don't care how many fans they have or what kind of shoes they wear. Some athletes don't even care if they're televised coast to coast. They just want to run. The Visa Triple Crown takes a lot of heart, but at the ticket booth, the only card they take is Visa, the official card of the Visa Triple Crown.
Its ancestors knew the grit of the sand at Daytona, where a mile measured the length of your nerve. It is not meek. It is not humble. It is what happens when you take the soul of the past and meld it with the best of the new. Chrysler 300M, the most powerful car in its class. Now, very well qualified returning gold key lessees can lease the 300M for $379 a month.
Are you neglecting your retirement plan? Sun America can help. Just ask your financial advisor. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
You know when you're not feeling like yourself. You're tired all the time. You may feel sad, hopeless, and lose interest in things you once loved. You may feel anxious, can't even sleep. Your daily activities and relationships suffer. You know when you just don't feel right. Now here's something you may not know. These are some symptoms of depression, a serious medical condition affecting over 20 million Americans. While the cause is unknown, depression may be related to an imbalance of naturally occurring chemicals between nerve cells in the brain. Zoloft, a prescription medicine, works to correct this imbalance. When you know more about what's wrong, you can help make it right. Only your doctor can diagnose depression. Zoloft is not for everyone. People taking medicines called MAOI shouldn't take Zoloft. Side effects may include dry mouth, insomnia, sexual side effects, diarrhea, nausea, and sleepiness. Zoloft is not habit-forming. Talk to your doctor about Zoloft, the #1 prescribed brand of its kind. Zoloft. When you know more about what's wrong, you can help make it right.
When the kids moved out, the Knapps were ready to make a move of their own. That's where a Prudential real estate professional came in, with expert guidance, smart technology, and worldwide exposure for their home. Tap the strength of the Rock in real estate.
From high above, the pictures courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. For more than 40 years, Goodyear has been providing aerial coverage at the world's major sporting events. And being led into the winner's circle now. And just a few moments ago, Prince Ahmed Salman of the Thoroughbred Corporation, a Saudi Arabian prince who missed the Preakness, on hand for the Belmont. And he's a new father, and he now has the best 3-year-old in America. And here also, Penny Chenery congratulating Bob Baffert. She was the owner of Secretariat, the Meadow Stable runner who had the dominant performance, and nothing compares to Secretariat's win in the Belmont, but certainly Point Given was dominant today as well. The blanket of white carnations placed over the withers of Point Given. Prince Salman, of course, missed the Preakness. He was back home in Saudi Arabia watching on television, but urged Gary Stevens and Bob Baffert to take Point Given back off the pace. That was the winning formula today. With a slow pace, Point Given was much closer, and then just scooted to the league effortlessly, it seemed, and pulled away down the stretch. White carnations as souvenirs from Gary Stevens. And boy, oh boy, you think back to the first Saturday in May at Churchill Downs. We were anointing this colt as a super horse. He's looked super the last 2 races in the Triple Crown, but inexplicably turned in that clunker in Louisville. Point Given's 2:26 and 2 time, equaling the 4th fastest Belmont Stakes of all time. Hillary Clinton, the junior senator from New York, will make the trophy presentation with the former president looking on. That's when we return to Belmont Park.
The Belmont Stakes, brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown. By Goodyear, serious technology, freedom from worry. By Sun America, the retirement specialist. And by Oracle, software.
And the last couple of days, Sadler's Wells has really